Hey guys, I'd like to introduce you to something. This is Derech Habustan, which means Bustan Way. And I'm on my way to Habustan. Now, the Bustan is supposed to be a place of tranquility, a place of nature, a place where you can relax. It's also a place that grows fruit. Many, many fruit trees, grapevines. Here we are at the entrance. This is called the Bustan Shimon. Shimon Droy was among one of the families that helped to found our village. So this upper part is a memorial to him. As you can see, we have date trees and we have multiple fruit trees spread throughout this area. Now the interesting thing about this Bustan is that it was established 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. And it hasn't been watered or cared for the past 10 years because it just got too expensive, just absolutely too expensive to maintain. So things have died, many plants have died, many plants are overgrown. I mean, look at this, these weeds are overgrowing on this tree. They had a watering system, but the water is closed. It's been closed for about 10 years. And despite that, look at this. You can see that? It's wild oregano or marjoram. It grows naturally here. It hasn't been watered much, but it's still there. It's amazing. All the spices that were here have died. And look at this poor tree. It died. But not completely, if you can see. Not completely. It just needs tender care. Lots and lots of lichens there. You see that tree? Overgrown with vines. And if you look through here, you will find leftovers of the spices that once filled this entire bed. These trees are barely hanging on. Barely hanging on. Down there was fully covered with all kinds of spices. This tree, I don't know if it's still alive. Then you have some trees that are doing beautifully, like that almond tree. Goodness, that's doing, wow, it found a water source, that's for sure. And if you continue through here, I mean, these trees, these were supposed to be large trees by now. They were supposed to be full and shading. This one is dead. Tested it not long ago. See, it's just totally dry. But growing up through that is another tree I saw the other day that is alive over here. This is part of another tree that just grew up all on its own. It's still very young. As you can see, we're going to need a lot of help to rejuvenate this. I mean, look at this tree. It's hanging on. It's hanging on because of the concrete there. Concrete's providing it with moisture in the summertime. And this almond tree is hanging on, but barely. So we're going to fix that. There's a lot of overgrown here. This used to be a pond, and this used to be grapevines. I mean, there's still grapevines, but they haven't been pruned. They haven't, I mean, they're barely alive. And young people come through here and they use this as a hangout. Somebody brought a chair, which isn't really appropriate, but they're comfortable, and at least somebody uses the place. Look at all the olives on this olive tree. Now, olive trees can survive without watering, so this is an amazing spot for the olive tree because it has the stones for extra moisture in the summertime. But look at all these olives that were not picked. It's such a shame. It's such a shame. Anyway, this continues on down. It's a very nice pathway. It's a very, very nice walk, even if things are somewhat dying. Look at this oak tree, just grew up right next to the almond tree. It's beautiful. Anyway, this goes down. This entire area is about 9,000 square meters. And it goes down the hill. And I have a beautiful task, along with a friend of mine, and that is to rejuvenate this area and make it beautiful again. Turn it into the lovely Habustan that it was meant to be. And we're going to do all of this in the natural way. Do this in a way that uses as little water as possible. Do this in a way that involves the community. You see down there, there's another grapevine. It's another sitting area with grapevines for shade. We're going to turn this into a lovely, lovely walking garden. And we're going to do it with as little money as possible. We're going to do it with community support. I don't know how long it will take because we will be doing sections at a time. We'll start with the section I just walked through, plus this section down here. Here's another sitting area. We're going to get to it. It's a very exciting project. We're going to fill in all of these areas. And the point is, we're going to make it as beautiful as we can. Absolutely beautiful. Make it a place where people will want to visit. A place where people can sit back and relax. People can come and bring picnics. On the holidays, when people come to see the archaeology site. Yep, we have an archaeology site here in my neighborhood. It's called Habustan. That they will also come to this wonderful park area when visiting that archaeology site. And over here is an amphitheater that we use for events, weddings. Imagine having a nice wedding next to a beautiful walking park. You can take lovely wedding pictures here if you wanted. This continues down the hill, just keeps going. Go that way, and then it bends back around this way, and then it bends back around that way, all the way down to the bottom of this hill. Look, here's more food that the bees are collecting. That's rosemary. Lots and lots of food up here for the bees. Lots of food for the bees. This is what it looks like from the top of the amphitheater. Imagine having a wedding canopy there. In the summertime, the sunset over the sea, which is just over those mountains. Actually, if I zoom in, you can see the sea. That's Tel Aviv. Isn't that beautiful? We have events here. We have concerts here. This is going to be a beautiful place. This garden is going to be tremendous.